Now, one of the things you might want to do is you might want to customize the desktop and the lock screen. Let me explain. This right over here is your desktop, this whole area. Many people clutter this desktop with files, like so. Secret document. Right? Now, many people will fill this up with files like this. Let me show you. Like that. Yuck. Have you seen desktops that look like this with a bunch of documents and folders? People will create folders, for example. Sample folder over here. And then, they have a bunch of folders. Yuck. This looks awful. What would be better on the desktop, if you want to sort things, is by creating a folder that means something to you. Like, for example, create a folder called maybe Utilities, and create the Utilities type things inside of the Utilities folder and get it away from your desktop. Take the files that belong to the Utilities folder and place it in there. That way you have one folder. You can have another folder and call the folder maybe Data, and place the items that belong to the Data folder in Data. Or furthermore, you can do one other thing. Let me close out of this, and let me trash this as well. If I open a File Explorer, and I select Docs, or I select OneDrive, get to OneDrive, maybe I'm just going to go over to this PC, and here's my Documents folder. I can right-click on the Documents folder, select Send To, and I can send it to the desktop as a shortcut. This way, what happens is that I've got the Documents folder right here as my quick access. And I'm going to remove this thing that says shortcut. That arrow means that that's a shortcut to the Documents folder. Now when I double click on it, it opens up the Documents folder, and then whatever I store in here, whatever I save in here, stays in there and not cluttering, and I don't clutter my desktop with it. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, on the desktop, I don't like my trash bin to be on the top left. I prefer it in the middle right. I like to get everything out of the way because when I click on the Start menu, I want all of the space that is available over here to be completely free. That way, I can look at the Start menu and not have to worry about hiding things behind the Start menu that are important to me. Okay? So that's something to keep in mind. Now, you also want to see the lock screen. So my settings right over here. In settings, if I specify, here's lock screen settings. I'll click on lock screen settings. And I can specify how I want my lock screen to be. Okay? And I can also specify screen timeout. So what picture I want? Background picture, or do you want it to be a slideshow? Okay. Pictures, whatever's in the pictures folder. And then I want to set timeout settings. And I want to say the timeout in an hour. Right? I can have additional power settings. And I can specify how I want to manipulate the power of my machine and where I want to specify how long the machine will be running before the monitor goes out. So additional power settings. I can also change slideshow settings on the lock screen, which are listed right over here. I can also choose an app that will show detailed status associated with my machine. I can say weather, for example. That's maybe what I want to show. I can also specify screensaver settings right over here. I can say that I want a screensaver of 3D text. Right? I can click on settings. I can specify don't touch my machine. Don't touch this PC, like that. I can choose a font. I can specify bold, Times Roman, Verdana, Times Roman New, or I can specify script. Click OK. It's going to be spinning. It's going to be spinning in its rotation type. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to do a preview. Well, here you go. This is the preview of what it's going to look like when it's doing 3D text. I happen to like the screensaver, and here it says it's going to wait 1 minute before it does it. I like to wait 10 minutes. And then when it resumes, I can display the logon screen, or I can choose to get right into the window screen. I like to display the logon screen in the event that somebody tried to hack into my computer while I was on a screensaver, I want them to have to enter in my password to get in. I click OK. I click Close. And those are the Start menu and the lock screen options.